right now. There it is.
This shit's fire.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin the Gas podcast on this beautiful Thursday afternoon or evening, depending on where you live, right? And you guys know the deal and the routine. This episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your free complimentary financial needs analysis today by Seth Starnes. Everybody knows who Seth Starnes is. He's an absolute legend, right? And again, Joe, my second sponsor, and I tell everybody this all the time, don't buy an off-the-rack suit. Why? Because for 90% of us, it's not going to fit us 100% perfect. And when your suit don't fit you perfect, it hinders your body movement, your riding position, causes arm pumps, all that good stuff. So I tell everybody, go to bisontrack.com and get your full custom suit started. You pick the colors, the logos, perforated, non-perforated, kangaroo, airbag, water, the whole nine. Bisontrack.com. People, listen to me. You will thank me later. I just got my suit in about a week ago, maybe a little bit over. Just got my chest protector in today. Got the gloves, got some new boots. So I'm ready to pin the gas, just like the legend himself, Joesph Limandri is, right? So, yes, let's get into it. I can't wait. I've been super excited. So, what's up, Joe? Bazooka Joe.
Yo, Bazooka Joe. Yo, what's up, man? Chris, thanks for getting me on here. I really appreciate this. This is, I got some good news I want to share. I'm sure we'll cover it in this podcast. So let's get it going.
Absolutely will. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this story started. Joe, where did it all begin for you?
Man, it started a long time ago. I've been riding for a really long time now. I've been racing since I was 8 years old. I'm 19 now, so a good 11 years I've been, just putting in that work. But funny enough, my dad, he used to ride, amateur track day rider, but he was out there, he was spinning laps. And one day I was like, hey, Dad, I want to ride. Where's my bike? And one Christmas, it's just a little PW50. Oh, actually, a little pocket bike. I don't know if you ever know what those things are. They're like, they're not that big, but one of those showed up at my house, and it was textbook from there. I started riding in a parking lot that I actually went to school to later down the line when I got older. And I was riding there pretty consistently until we got in trouble and we got kicked out of the parking lot, and then I couldn't go back there. Funny enough, one of my good friends, Marcello, his dad owned a pizza deal, like a pizzeria, and there was a bunch of like pictures of Nino, that's the owner, that's my friend's dad, riding like all over the walls. And my mom was in there one day and was like, hey, who's the owner? My husband rides too. And then I became friends with one of my good friends now, Marcello, and my dad and Nino found New Jersey Mini GP, organization based out of Jersey. That was pretty obvious. And we went there. Ryan Fleming, Nathan Granoff, they were kind of just starting. Me and my generation were kind of the second coming of the Mini GP riders, and that's where I started. That's where I learned to ride. I learned all the basics, and they just starting at Mini GP, they gave me all the tools that I need to just grow and get better and better and better.
That's awesome. And then so I'm getting ready to go ride in October. Got invited to go ride with the SFL Mini GP in South Florida at the Heron Compound. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, that's sweet. I'm trying to plan some trips down south this winter. Funny enough, this past winter, I didn't really ride at all. I didn't really get down south. So I'm hoping this winter I can load up a little more, go head down south, spin some laps in the heat and not here in the cold. So we'll see what happens. But SFL Mini GP, I was just there. I was down south not too long ago riding. And Mike Correa, the owner of SFL, has a good program going on over there. I actually got to coach one of their Mini GP camps, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Michael, and of course Juju. Right, he's an absolute legend. I got Juju hat right here. Yeah, it's yeah, man. What he does in his program, I'm not sure if New Jersey's is New Jersey kind of structured the same way as SFL. Mini?
Yeah, they're basically the same organization. Just one is based down south, and we have Mini GP based up here in the north.
Yeah, I think their programs are some of the best we have in America, especially with parents and kids growing up that want to try it. Right, you just register, you show up, and they provide everything else: leathers, boots, helmets, the bikes, the whole nine. You can rent bikes too while you're there as well, which is yeah. And then look at all the talent
I was just
that
going to
they've been.
say it's pretty proven that the way they structure and their program they have going over there works. They produced NJ Mini GP and SFL Mini GP have produced championship contending riders in Moto America. Um, Friends I know that have gone overseas and raced and done really well. A lot of them came from Mini GP and or SFL Mini GP. So it really goes to show you that one, starting on a mini bike is the way to go. It's the best way to learn. And two, their programs, the way they structure everything, it just works.
Yeah, it does. I can't agree. You heard it here. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. I'm constantly talking about SFL Mini GP. Even if you're 60 years old and you ever wanted to drag your knee and you ride, man, sign up and go down there. By the end of the day, you're going to be dragging your knee, right? It's yeah, man, it's absolutely amazing. But so you coming from New Jersey Mini GP, right? How did that transition into obviously track days and then going professional racing? How did all that come about?
Well, with Mini GP, it started off almost as like a hobby. Like I was doing it for fun. Um, and I really wasn't the greatest. I was, back of the pack 50 rider, like 50 spec 50 rider for a good year or two. I somehow won a championship my first year racing. That was all luck though. Then after that, I kind of just stayed the same, and everyone got faster. I just kind of hit like a plateau. I did one NJ Mini GP camp, and it was like my whole career just turned around. I went from back of the pack to winning and setting lap records that still haven't been beat. I still have 50 lap records from almost 10 years ago that have not been beat yet. Um, and then I just, we stayed on a mini bike until I was 13, 14 years old, outgrowing like the little pit bikes. And Ryan Fleming and Nathan Granoff got in touch with Brett Baker, the owner of Evolve GT Track Days, an organization that I ride for, I coach at, another great place to learn. And when we were ready, Ryan sent him an email saying, "Hey, I have these kids. They know what they're doing. They're ready. Put them on the big track." So then I just went to Evolve GT Track Days on my 300 and just went there and learned, kept learning. And Brett Baker and Billy Sink really taught me and all my friends, like they taught us so much. And just like NJ Mini GP, they gave us more tools that we can build on so we can keep learning and keep growing. Even when they're not there to continue to coach us, they gave us all the basics and all the tools that we need to just keep growing as a rider. Like every time I show up, I still think about everything I learned from NJ Mini GP and Evolve GT Track Days, and I implement it into my riding every single time I throw my leg over a bike. And all those basics and all those structures that they implemented in us still stand.
Oh yeah, I guarantee it. It's a great program. I mean, like I just said, it's one of the best programs we have in America, if not the best program, whether you're north or south on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, man, come on by and give it a spin. It's yeah, dude. So listen, we got the legend himself, my man, Michael Castro. He says, brah.
Hey, what's up, Mike? Fuzzy?
Fuzzy is in the house. Yes, sir. Yeah, he's awesome. Every time I go to the track, obviously I try to stop by. Fuzzy's so busy, just like all you guys and girls
Oh,
when you're at
no.
the track. So it's a brief, "What's up, bro?" Hug, high five, whatever, and yeah, chat for a minute, and then
Fuzzy's the
you
man.
know,
I got to work with him for a little while when I was racing, and he's good. He's good. Fuzzy, I hope you're doing well, man.
yeah, me too. And Fuzzy, when you gonna come on the podcast, man? Come
Well, we
on,
need to
man.
get Fuzzy on here.
Dude, we definitely need to get Fuzzy on here. Um, so how do you like coaching, Joe? Coaching is a different side of it, right? So you take everything you've learned, the trials and tribulations you've been through growing up as starting out and then getting into racing. So you know the ins and the outs, right? And transferring that to not necessarily just a kid growing up, but adults too as well. How do you find the coaching side of everything?
Honestly, I love coaching. It's a little difficult and something that I have been getting better at because the way I explain things is the I can't explain it in a basic way. I only know the really difficult way because that's all I know. Um, but I've been getting a lot better. And funny enough that you asked about coaching, me and a couple of my buddies did an advanced camp a week ago at NJ Mini GP. Well, not this past week, but the week before at NJ Mini GP. We took the regular 3-day Mini GP camp and we turned it into something that really focuses and dives into the the ins and outs of racing, how to race, not just how to learn how to ride, but now we're getting into how to race a motorcycle and how to really get better and faster every time you show up to a track. And it was, it was a little scary. Ryan Fleming, Nathan Granoff, they ran all the mini GP camps, and they said, "Look, you guys got free reign. This is your weekend. You're running the show." They kind of said that in the text messages in the group chat we had. We didn't really pick up on it. So when we showed up to the track and they're like, "Yeah, we're taking a back seat. Good luck." It was like, "Oh God, what are we even going to do? How do we run this?" We've never, we don't run a camp. We never ran a camp before. Honestly, it turned out really good. It was a good weekend. The advanced camps are invite only. And you have to go to a mini GP camp first to be able to get invited. But it honestly, like all the riders that were there, I think one of them dropped their times by like 5 seconds. And
That's huge.
the average time drop for all 15 riders that were there were over a second and a half. So everyone dropped at least a second and a half from when they showed up to when they left. And it was only 2 days. And it wasn't much riding because it was really focusing on the preparation, the mental preparation, what to look for when you're riding, and how to maximize each session. So honestly, it wasn't that much on track stuff, but it was everything that they were learning before they can implement it into their riding immediately as soon as they went out. And it made a huge difference, I think. And it made a difference for me too, being able to take a step back instead of having this all in my head and trying to figure it out my own, being able to say it and to other people. It kind of helped me figure things that I needed to work on as well. So honestly, coaching is just a great tool. I get to give all these people the experiences that I've learned and get to share it with everybody, just like it was when I was a little kid. So I feel like I'm giving back to the community because, I've had a lot of opportunities and a lot of people help me out. That's the only reason I'm here right now. And it feels good to be able to give that back to everybody.
Oh, 110%. And I guess I've never coached. I've coached my friends ride, but not on the level you're doing, right? This is just basic learning how to ride. But you being a coach in the position you're in, you learn a lot by coaching too as well, right? Like you learn, you're like, oh my God, like, yeah. So listen, we got everybody knows Spencer Humphreys, my man, the legend in the house. He says, yo.
Yes, sir. He was one of the coaches that was helping us at the camp.
Dude, he's awesome. I got his t-shirt hung up right here.
Oh yeah, and Justice for All.
And Justice for All Metallica, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Spencer, I actually finally met him at VIR during the ARMA race weekend.
During CCS?
Yep. And it was awesome. Him, my buddy Gus Rodeo, and Brandon Posh,
I was there.
All them guys.
I was there as well. I don't think you saw that I was there. We were kind of figuring some stuff out, but
I did. If I knew you was to be there, yeah, I would have definitely come up there. Dude, you couldn't have missed me. I was running around. I'm the guy in the bright pink shirt you see hanging on, running around the paddock. I'm sure you probably see me. Yeah, next time, man, come up and say. Which brings me, are you going to be at Jersey for the last round?
I will. For Moto America, this is something I wanted to touch on in the podcast. I'll be there.
Listen, before we get into that, yes, good. He says, Spencer says, Chris, what do you have on? And he's laughing, bro. My new Bison shirts I got in. Yeah, so I finally got my Bison shirts in. So that's what I have on. And then he says, look at that shirt, meaning his shirt in the background. Yeah, it's absolutely. I just had Spencer on a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, second one. We're going to do many more together too. He's an absolute legend. One thing that I love, Joe, is when I get my friends on the podcast like you, and then we finally get to meet in real life. It's like a full circle, come around, laughs and good times. And then Billy Pedro is another good buddy of mine. He says, aloha, Joe.
Oh, Billy, what's up, man? How are you? Man, all these faces I haven't seen in a while popping up on here.
Yeah, and then Spencer says, it looked like a windbreaker at first. My bad. Love it. Thanks. Listen, it was funny because Dustin Cornier sent me a text and was like, Bro, you look like you're wearing a fucking 80s Trapper Keeper shirt on. My wife started laughing. She's like, "You do." I'm like, "You don't get no shirt, woman. You're banned. No shirt for you." No, just playing. That's awesome. So yeah, let's get into what you just said, Joe. So New Jersey, last round, 2024 of Moto America.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm repping the shirt. Boss Racing. We're going to be running a Yamaha R6. This is. I've been training really hard for this. I've just been waiting for this to happen. And Anthony Corbo, Pablo Vinciliello, Uda Torres, all like just came together and put together such a good R6, and I'm so stoked to race Moto America. I couldn't have done it without them. So I can't thank Boss Racing and Uda Torres from UTR Racing enough. They just built such a good bike. K-Tech, Orient Express supplying some killer suspension. We've been getting some testing in lately, and it's so far so good. I feel ready. I feel ready to go.
I bet. And going in and racing Moto America, does that add any extra pressure on you going into the weekend?
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not nervous. Everybody's nervous. If you're not nervous going to a Moto America round, I don't know. Kudos to you. But no,
Right.
I feel ready. I know the bike. I know we're going to show up with a winning bike. I have no doubt in that. I've ran races with Boss Racing before back in Junior Cup. We won races, fighting for a podium every single time. So I have no doubt in my mind we're going to show up with a killer package. I've been putting in the work. I work out every day. I feel ready mentally, physically. I've never felt more ready to race before. So I'm nervous, but I'm prepared and I'm ready. And I'm not nervous that I'm not going to do as good as I think I will, but I'm just ready. I'm ready to go. I'm fired up. I'm ready for whatever happens.
You're nervous for all the competitors because you know you're going to show up and dominate. That's what you're nervous for.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
That's right.
It's
That's
gonna be
right.
some
I
stiff
love
competition, but I'm ready for it. Bring it
it.
on.
Is it's Moto America's got in all classes a super stiff
Oh,
competition.
stacked. I was really hoping I could do a full season just so I could race all these riders. But I'm not mad with this either.
I know, right? I wouldn't be neither, right? Let's just be honest. And Billy Pedro actually says I have one of Joe's OG
I remember
shirts.
giving it to him. I remember. One of
I
my
love
OG shirts are back there somewhere. I gotta find it.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So I'm super excited to actually meet you at mid Ohio, in New Jersey. It's
Oh,
coming up at the end of the month. I will be there too. It's the last round of Moto America. And last year was the first year I was at New Jersey. I went to. It rained, and a lot of my buddies, like Curtis Woodworth, Isaac's dad, he was like, "Dude, when it rains back here, if it rains, it's shit back here. It's gonna flood." And Eli Colby was telling me the same thing. So was his dad, Eric. They're like, "Dude, it's gonna be a shit show back here." And I was like, "It can't be that bad."
no, it's bad.
Joe, bro, I was like, "Are you
I
kidding
know.
me right now?"
I was there.
Okay.
Not a good time.
And I remember my good buddy Aaron Dreyer, that's no longer with us anymore. Him and my other buddy John Ludwig went out and bought some brought rain gear, and I'm like, I wish I would have brought it, right? But this year I'm gonna be prepared. I got me a rain jacket. I ain't got no rain boots, whatever. My feet would get wet, but
It's
yeah.
not gonna.
Yeah, yeah, got me an umbrella. I'm prepared this year. It was like when I went to the UK. I went out there last year for the BSB race. I'm real big into British Superbike racing. Went to Cadwell Park, which is my favorite track in the world. Um, my mate said, "Look, dude, when you go, you're gonna need all the gear you have." I was like, define all my gear. He's like, "You're gonna need a t-shirt, shorts, pants, a rain jacket, an umbrella, a beanie hat, and a jacket." And I was like, what do you got? 50, all 4 seasons in one day? He's like, yeah, basically. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're not lying, Joe.
I've
Absolutely
that
no.
PSB. Yep. I see
Not
posting from England. Practice, it's wet. Qualifying's dry. The race is sunny, and then race 2 is wet. So
yeah. And you'll see, it's funny because when you watch and you pay attention, you'll see like whatever first practice, everybody's in coats, and then it'll be first race when it's raining, nobody's really wearing coats because it's kind of a warm rain, and then it goes away and everybody's got beanie hats and jackets on. I was like, yeah, it was
those are the worst racing days when the weather's changing throughout the day. It's the worst. You can't predict what's happening next.
Well, I'm sure it makes it really hard on your setup of the bike too. Do I run a dry setup, a soft setup? Am I going on an intermediates or wets, or what am I going to do? Right? It's
What I'm
yeah.
going to do is ride, and bike setup is everybody else's problem, not mine.
I love it. I love it, Joe. So, do you know that side of the motorcycles too, like telemetry and learning how to read all the data and your suspension and all that?
Look, I'm no genius. I'm not saying I can go out there and be a suspension guru, but when I'm out there riding my 450 spinning laps, or if I show up to a track day by myself, I can make those little adjustments. Like, oh, maybe I should try this, or let me try this, because I kind of have an idea just based off how a bike works, because I've been riding one for so long. I kind of just know the ins and outs of a motorcycle. And most problems, if you just sit there and really think about it, you can come to some sort of conclusion. It might not always be right, and I can't make those big drastic changes that, like, oh, okay, this is what we're struggling with. We're trying all these things, we can't figure it out. We're gonna do this. Like those, I can't come to that conclusion just because I don't really know, and I don't really want to know, because I just want to focus on the racing aspect, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not working on a bike enough to really worry about that, and I don't want to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Right? There's a lot that suspension to me is like its whole freaking science alone. Right? It's like I know the basics just like you. Right? I can okay, it's a little too soft. Let me try this. Let me try that. And another misconception is all my friends, and I correct them all the time. They're like, I need to stiffen up my suspension by adding more preload. I'm like, bro, don't embarrass me right now. That's not what happens. You need stiffer springs in order to have stiffer
Yep.
suspension. Your spring preload sets up your sag. That's it.
Preload. I usually think of preload as when you're not loading the bike. So when you're not on the brakes real hard or something like that, that's when I think like, all right, when I'm off the brakes, I can't get the bike to finish the corner. There could be so many different things, but maybe we could try taking out some preload to drop the front a little bit.
You know,
Like little stuff like that.
exactly right. And you said K-Tech, so I got a lot of friends that work at K-Tech suspension too, like Birch, Kendall,
Man, yep.
Jakari, right? Yeah, there are absolutely amazing people. Every time I see Kendall, I'm like, bro, why do you keep following me from racetrack to racetrack, dude? Like, what's up, dude? He
Hey,
just laughs.
Kendall and Birch are everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere I go, they're there, which is
they're
cool.
yeah, absolutely. They're absolutely amazing people too. Me and Birch actually been trying to sit down and do a podcast together, but he's always just super busy. And he's like, dude, let's do one at the track, Joe, which I would love to. But you know how noisy the racetrack is? It's absolutely just bonkers with full of noise. Even we waited till the end of the day and it's still noisy, but by then, it's getting dark outside. I'm hungry. I want to go eat, right? Let's just be honest. Let's go eat.
When the racing on track stops, the hooliganing around in the pits starts. So
Absolutely, it does.
it never,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just saying it never ends.
It don't, and that's one thing that I love about being in the paddock over there at Moto America is I can stay after all the race is done, and that's when I get to sit down and actually have a real conversation with my buddies, right? That are there, like you and Shane Maggs, and I mean the list goes on and on. So for everybody, Joe, tell everybody what you did last year.
Last year I tried putting in an effort to race a full season of Moto America. I raced an R7 in Twins Cup. That didn't work out the greatest, so we went to Super Sport and raced a GSXR 750. Yeah, I mean the year just wasn't the greatest. Not everything worked out the way we would have hoped, but that's racing, and I moved on from that, and we're on to this year.
Yeah, it is, man. It's road racing to me is one of the most mental sports you can do, period. Because there's so much that goes along. Most people, when they watch and they see you, Joe, and you're walking through the paddock and you got all these patches, and they assume, oh, he must be making $100,000 a year, right? But they don't
Probably losing it.
exactly, right? I'm paying. It's just like me. I don't get paid to podcast. I pay to podcast, right? But a lot of people just know in the sport, they don't know what it actually takes. Like when you show up for a weekend, Joe, if you're not just riding and you got to do everything yourself, hot pit, cold pit, tire warmers, canopy, generators, gas, yada, yada, yada. There's so much involvement that goes into just
It's
even a
tough.
track day.
Even just
Yeah.
leading up to the track day is tough too. Got to get all the stuff ready. all the training, all the mental preparation. It's not an easy sport. Last year I was dealing with an injury. I was battling. Well, I was injured the year before when I got surgery, and I was dealing with the recovery process. I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus, and IT band, and it was all like chronic, really bad tears. It wasn't like just little tears. So it was it was an invasive major operation on my knee, and I took all off season. I didn't touch a bike. I didn't touch a bike till a couple weeks before the first race of the season, because I just had to spend that time recovering, and it wasn't easy. The whole season was just battling the injury, but I toughed through it, and I'm still dealing with the side effects of it, but I'm pretty healed now, and it was not hindering me on the bike as much as it was. I had to get lifted off the bike after some races, like if it was at a hard track, um, off the top of my head, like the Ridge, Pit, like all those tracks. I'd pull into the pits, and I'd have to have somebody lift me up off the bike and almost carry me to the scooter so I can ride away because I couldn't walk.
Yeah, that's it. And that again, that's the whole part of the mental issues you're dealing with too, right? At the same time, it hinders your not only your riding, but it affects the whole game.
Yeah,
It
it
really does.
affects everything.
It does. And speaking of focus and getting prepared, what I call getting prepared for battle, Leonidas going out facing 10,000 Persians, right? Same thing as us lining up at the track when the visor goes down. How do you mentally prepare for a race weekend, Joe? And do you have any superstitions as far as do I got to put my right boot on before my left boot or anything like that?
I'm gonna start off with like the preparations before the weekend first. Honestly, the biggest mental preparation for me is just making sure I'm in the gym, make sure I'm putting that time in, eating right. That's the biggest mental preparation because I'm like, okay, my body's ready. I'm ready to go. That's one less thing I have to stress about because I know I'm good. I'm putting in 100%. I'm leaving nothing on the table. That is the that's been a big turning point in my stress relief for me showing up to the track is I just know I've been putting in 100% leading up to it. I study races. Like while I'm working out, if I'm riding the bicycle, rowing machine, something where I'm stationary, I'll throw on a race. And I'm not really paying attention just to the workout. I'm paying attention to the race, to their brake markers and everything. And it's just thinking. I run laps in my head. I can run a full lap in my head and know every single spot where I'm braking, where I'm hitting the throttle, turning, shift points. I made a big emphasis on trying to figure out how to do that, just so it's basically just stuck in my head now. I don't have to think about it. So just little things like that, just like I said, just getting that preparation mentally, physically. Just make sure you show up and leading up to the weekend you left nothing on the table and everything was put in. Like you put in all the work you could. That is the biggest preparation, I think. And then superstitions, I got a couple. I have to put my right boot on, then my left boot. How that happened, I have no idea. I just started doing it. And I always put my right glove, then left glove. Or, hold on, now I have that flipped because I'm thinking about it. I put my left glove, then right glove on. I don't know why. It's never like, oh, no one ever told me to do that. I just started doing it. And then one day I flipped it and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And I took my gloves off and did it the right way again. Like I didn't do it wrong and then something bad happened. I just was like, this doesn't feel right. And then I always get on the bike on the left side. So on the clutch side, I'd get on the bike. And that was something my dad told me when I was little, and it just stuck to me.
Yeah, you sound like Rossi. He always did the same thing, the left side of the bike, right? No, he would get on the right, but he always got off on the left, I think. Something like that.
I don't know. Getting off is not anything I worry about. It's just getting on the bike is always on the left side. It has to be.
Yeah, that I feel you, man. That's awesome. So I learned a trick. Well, yeah, it is a trick. I had my good buddy Nolan Lampkin on, right? And I asked him the same question. He says, the only thing I do is I wear my socks inside out. And I was like, why do you wear your socks inside out? Because where they sew them in the front, right? The seam gets up in your toes because it affects me too. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So ever since I had him on the podcast months ago, I've been wearing my socks inside out.
I really wish you didn't say this to me because now my socks are uncomfortable. I wish you never said that.
Joe, listen, no bullshit. I'm telling you, dude, we get off here, you go train or you go put on your socks tomorrow, wear them inside out. It changes your life, dude. It changed mine. That's all. Yeah. Even when I fold them now out of the laundry, I make sure they're inside
It's like
out.
telling someone not to think of a pink elephant. Now I know you're thinking of a pink elephant right now.
right now. You already know it, right? So yeah, it's dude, it's awesome, man. So coming back from injury, the mental side of coming back from injury, everybody wants to hurry up and get on a bike. I know I did when I broke my knee. That's the whole thing I talked about. When can I ride? When can I ride? When can I ride? And Doc's like, dude, you can't right now. Like you gotta chill, right? Um, but filling that void in, how did you feel that void of training without training? Did you play like PlayStation, watch a lot of video games, or did you just kind of back off of it for a little while and fully heal yourself to come back?
I mean, look, I'll be open and honest here. It was a tough injury, um, and for a little while, I kind of just did nothing, sat inside, didn't really didn't really care. Um, and then I went straight to racing. And I'm racing, and I realized, I didn't put any work in, and now I'm reaping the consequences right now. And then that was like a switch flipped in my brain, and I was like, okay, no more time to lock in. I got to get work done. And yeah, then I just started putting in work. But leading up to that, no, I kind of just sat around, did nothing for a little while until I realized like this is not what I want to do. I want to race, and I'm ready to sacrifice whatever I have to just to race.
I love it.
That switch flipped, and it's been flipped ever since.
Because you're a legend, absolute legend, Joe. It's yeah, I wish I was as fast as half as fast as any of my friends out there on the racetrack. I'm just yeah, just me in the backfield, right? Riding, but I love to ride. That's my thing.
That's
To
the
me, it's
thing.
all about having fun. If you're not having fun, then why are you doing it, right? It's yeah. So coming up, let's just say we're at a race weekend. Things ain't going your way. The bike feels like shit. I have no front end feel. The rears always feel like it's coming out. Yada yada yada. How do you mentally challenge to come over that to still find that I'm still having a ball. I still belong here. How do you deal with that?
I just think of it as it's racing. What are you going to do? You have bad weekends, you have good weekends, and I take everything as a learning experience. Like, I like to write things down. And after a weekend, I'll be like, all right, what went wrong? I write down what went wrong. And then I have a section, what's in my control, what's out of my control. I put what's out of my control, and I put what's in my control. Um, and the out of control stuff, after I write it all down, cross it out. Don't even think about it anymore. Now I know what's in my control. I'm like, okay, I had all these problems that I can't control, and this is what I could have done to fix it, but I didn't. So next weekend, if these problems arise, I know what I have to do to fix. Like, at least try to make the problems less of a problem. Try to fix them as best as I can, and just try to work through it.
Yeah,
So
it's
if I was having front chatter issues and we couldn't figure out what was going on, next time maybe I will turn the bike a little bit later and get my direction faster so I'm not on the edge of the tire as much. Just little things. That's just a random thing I threw out there. That hasn't happened. But or I just be like, look, these are the circumstances. Deal with it. It's racing.
yeah,
Shut up,
yeah,
go out there, race. And that's the main thing. Like, if I'm really struggling in a weekend, I'll sit there and be like, okay, it's just one weekend. Shut up, go out there, race. As hard as you can. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. And that's the bottom line. 'Cause that's the only thing you can do.
it
Control
is. And having fun again is it's because I know there's been many times I show up and shit ain't going right. And I'm like, man, this sucks ass, right? Like,
everything.
and that was hard for me to learn to deal with and try to overcome. And one of my buddies that was in the military was like, look, don't, instead of focusing on this shit sucks and this and that, focus on exactly basically what you said. What's in your control, not what out of your control. So if you suck at 4, 7, and 8, like you're just losing seconds, instead of focusing so much on that, worrying about it, putting that mental barrier up, focus on where you're good at on the track, where you're flowing real good, right? Go back to having that fun, and then you'll, without realizing it, you'll do better naturally in those bad sections because it's not right here anymore, right?
Exactly.
Um,
When you try to force an issue, you will force an issue. And that's the bottom line. If you just let it happen, 99% of the times it happens. And if it doesn't, whatever.
yeah,
Weekend's done, move on to the next one.
that's right. That's right. So speaking of training, How does Joe train? Like, do you have a KX65, a CRF 100, or what kind of training do you do?
If I
Bike training.
if I get to the track, I have a Husqvarna FS 450 sitting in my garage. Best purchase I ever made, honestly. I love riding that bike. I really like got tuned in with the bike this year, and I've never just had so much fun. Just no stress. Go out there. I put the work in. I get my work done before I have fun. So half most of the day will be spent putting in hard laps and trying to better my lap time. And then when the tires fall off, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna back it in, I'm gonna slide around and just reward myself for the work I put in. And it makes racing that much better.
Yeah, I love watching videos of, like, Brandon Posh and you and everybody else on those Ashton Yates on it. And I'm just like, bro, I would love to be able to do that because y'all make it look so easy. I mean, easy. You come in, front's going, the rear sliding all the way around. I'm like, bro.
Funny enough, I had my 450 for 2.5 years now. I just learned how to back it in. I just learned. I could do it on a big bike just fine, but the 450 I can never figure it out. And I I did the preparation. I studied Brandon's, Gus's, Ashton's, all those videos, and I was like, I'm just doing it wrong. I'm trying to get the bike to slide with the rear tire, with the rear brake. That's not how it works. Everything is done with the front brake and timing.
Yeah,
And the rear is just controlling how much you want that tire to be pitched.
yeah, you're right.
If anyone's listening, there you go.
Yeah, you're right. It's all timing. And when they told me that, I was like, really? They're like, yeah, bro. It's front and timing, and the rear brake is to control how far you want it to step out. And I
Exactly.
was like, it don't look that way when you watch it because you don't, there's not a camera there. But if you watch the video and pay attention, I see it now. Once they told me that, right? I just assumed that they come in, front brake, stomped on that rear brake, kicked it to the side, and but
That's
that's
what
not.
I thought for the longest time.
Yeah.
And now that I have a grasp over it, I'll stab that rear brake real quick to get it to back in just because I feel like it. But it's not the correct way.
Just because it's cool, man. Check this out. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to throw a little one here and there for everybody.
You got it's just like I always tell my friends, I would ride a wheelie for a dog if he enjoyed it, right?
Oh,
It's one
100%.
of
I just
those
do it because I enjoy it.
facts, right? And I learned by riding a unicycle.
Really.
Yeah, well,
You
because it's all balance, right? So when you
know,
ride a unicycle, you got that balance going on, right? And then I found once I got riding the unicycle, I was pretty good at it. Like I struggled riding it because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to do it so bad. Like I wanted to do it, right? It's same thing we just got done talking about. The more pressure you put on yourself, and it just makes it worse, right? If I stopped trying and I did the discipline on the unicycle, uh, then I started off slow. Yeah, I was comfortable with the balance points, right? Once you get comfortable with it being on the balance points, so you can work on changing the gears and all that. And yeah, that's what helped me learn how
I
to.
figured it out on a bicycle. Funny
Right,
enough.
I did too, but when I got on my bicycle, for some reason, when I got on a motorcycle, it just felt different. I don't know why.
It is
It was.
different
It
because
is.
you're using your hands and not your feet.
Yeah,
And that's like a thing for your brain to figure out. But a balance
that
point,
barrier. Yeah,
exactly. But that balance point is a balance point. You can find it
it
on any
is.
bike.
It is, and
Now
it's funny. Go
go ahead.
ahead, Joe. I was gonna say, funny enough, all bikes have different balance points.
Oh, 100%. Well, yeah, it's just because the way the bike has been built. Like I do wheelies on my moped in the pits now, and it's probably my favorite pastime.
Good. So in that Jersey, I'll be looking for you to doing some video. Matter of fact, when we're there at Jersey, me and you gonna do some a Facebook Live video while we're there
Let's do it.
together.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah, we
sweet. Let's
will.
do it. I'll throw a moped wheelie in there for you.
Absolutely. Well, I can't wait. Listen, Joe, we're almost 40 minutes into this. I told you
Oh,
it was going to go by fast. I know. I know. So I want to get into my favorite part of the interview where I talk about we get to know Joe away from everything. Um, and I want to start off by saying, are you a coffee drinker, Joe?
I am. Unfortunately, now I am because I'm getting up so early every day.
What time you get up in the morning?
Usually it's 5:30, depends on what time I have to get to work. The days I have to get there at 8 and I get up at 6, it's a luxury. It really is a luxury. But usually I'm up at 5.
Yeah, you sound like me. I get up at 4:15 in
Oh
the
wow.
morning. I got to be at work at 6 and I work 4 10s. So I work 6 to 4:30. Um, but I like to get up. What I was telling you before we went live, my weight loss I did, and my workout routine of what I do is I get up in the morning, um, coffee maker's on, but I get me a fresh liquid death, water. Come in here. I like to do breathing. I do my breathing exercises, and then I do push-ups.
Oh wow.
And stretch. Stretching to me is huge, right? So I stretch, I do my breathing, I do my push-ups, and then I go out there and I make my cup of coffee and pack my lunch and kiss goodbyes to everybody, and I'm out the door. And so, but what do you do for a job, Joe?
I work construction. I work for my dad. Funny enough, we do a lot of like resident. Well, we do a lot of commercial, not residential. We do a lot of commercial paving, commercial concrete. So just like I do a lot of jobs with the MTA, the fire department, and the New York Parks Department. So some of the parks that you see over in New York and Brooklyn, I've probably been there.
I love it, dude. My dad's, well, my grandpa and my grandma lived in Bayonne, New Jersey. And
Mhm.
man, I miss going there. The bagels and the pizza and the food was,
Yeah,
yeah.
the food in here is good. Well, up
I
here.
I'd still be a fat kid. Let's just put it that way, right? Yeah. Because nothing like a good Jersey bagel. We used to go to Broadway Bagel is the name of the
I've
place.
been there actually. I'm pretty sure I've been there.
Dude,
The
bro,
name is recognizable.
uh everything bagel, right? With bacon and egg and cheese and some cream cheese. Oh my god, it's so good. It makes me want one now. Yeah. Good stuff. So what's it like? What was it like being Owen Williams' teammate?
It was fun. I had a good time on that team. The bike was good. Michael Gilbert was good. My mechanic Richie, Murph, my dad got like the whole team was great. Owen was cool to have in the pits. He was a good. He was good. He was a good teammate. It was fun to be around him, and yeah, it was just a good time. I wish we were continuing something in for this season, but Michael Gilbert's off doing his own thing right now, and yeah, it was a good time. I really appreciate that opportunity.
Yeah, that's Spencer's question.
Oh, I don't know if I want to know it.
No, that was it.
Oh, that was Spencer's question.
Yeah. That was Spencer's. And then Rick, buddy of mine, Rick said his dad bought a Suzuki 65 from my son's years ago, one of his first minis. Guess he's talking about you.
I assume so, but
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank here to remembering this.
Yeah. This was a long time ago, right? Let's just be
Probably,
honest.
probably all the concussions.
Right. And listen, that
Ooh, I
that's
do.
something. Go ahead. Go ahead, Joe. You do?
Uh, I don't remember me really riding it much, but I remember me having one.
I love it, man. I love it. That's something that's not talked about a lot in our sports. Neither is concussions, right? So I know in British superbikes, because my mates that race over there, if you have a wreck and they come over to you and they deem you have a concussion, you can't ride for 14 days.
Oh wow.
Yep, no matter what. And I think it's a brilliant idea because you see football players and stuff like that as they retired and they get out of the sport, they have a lot of
Yeah,
brain
brain.
injuries, right? And it causes a lot of just problems. As you get older. Our helmet safety's been basically the same since shit. I can't remember. Right? They're all got different sort of ECE, FIM, but it's the highest level of standard. But I don't know what they could do. Maybe put a little airbag inside a helmet or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think
I wear a Rye Americas, and I've been sponsored by them now 6 years. I got a sponsorship from them winning a Spec 50 championship many years ago. I think it was like my last season racing a 50. They had that little program, and I got the sponsorship, and I've been wearing their helmets ever since. And honestly, I can safely say that the helmet saved my life so many times. Um, I've hit my head hard. I've hit my head hard, and I was able to get up and walk away. So I honestly can't thank Arai enough, and continuing their support into this season, because even though I'm training, I've had my wrecks already this season, and here I am. I'm good.
I love it. I love it. And the ride, I'm a huge fan of ride too. I got several rides. Matter of fact, I got an original Doug Chandler helmet I bought back in like '96. The RX7RR, I think is what it's called off the top of my head.
Helmets are over there.
Yeah, I see him.
That helmet is retired. I wouldn't wear that again. But yeah, that's one of them sitting over there. And I got another one all the way in the corner of my room as well. So you can see that. Those are all my trophies and a lot of the stuff I've collected. Got more on the floor as well.
That's all. And look who just popped in. Birch, bro. What is up, man? He says,
What up, man?
"Dat boy."
What's up, Birch?
Yeah, Birch is absolutely amazing. Birch, bro. We need to
Where
get
you at?
this thing scheduled. Yeah, where you at, Birch, man? What's up? Let me ask you this. Tell us something we don't know about you at all, Joe.
I don't know. I think I'm a pretty open book. I work construction and I race motorcycles. I, I got my life outside of racing with my buddies and everything, but this kind of just consumed most of it, and I'm not mad at that.
No. It's the best drug in the world, two wheels.
100%.
1,000,000%, right? It's something for me that when I first got on a bike at a young age, it was like it was just so different than anything else. And coming off of it, that's all I thought about. I didn't give a shit about cartoon. I didn't give a shit about anything. I was like, I just want a bike. That's all I want to do is ride bikes. That's it.
Yep. I feel that.
It's absolutely amazing. So let me ask you this then, Joe. What's your worst habit?
My worst habit. I don't know. What is my worst habit? The fact that no matter what, I will do something. If I want to do something, nothing will stop me from doing it. And that's probably my worst habit because that gets me either into trouble or I get hurt.
You sound like me. I'm the same way. When I got my mindset on something, that's it. I don't care who's. I'm getting it done. Right? Yeah.
100%.
That's awesome. So I'm big into like audiobooks. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Is that something you do too as well, or read?
I just listen to podcasts really. Like if I'm not listening to music on long drives, I'll throw a podcast, a little Pin the Gas podcast on, and yeah, that just I sit there and I listen. But no, I'm not really big into movies or anything either. I'm usually just so busy throughout the day getting stuff done that my mind's just taken away from everything else.
So, what podcast do you actually listen to besides Pin the Gas podcast?
I listen to Off Track with Carruthers and Bryce, Greg's Garage with Jason Pridmore and Greg White, Corey Texter's podcast I'll throw on, Corey Alexander's and James Rispoli's. I'm drawing a blank right now.
Pipe Dreams.
Pipe Dreams, there it is. And I almost said Pipe Garage or something. I was like, wait, that's not right. And yeah, I just watch those. I like science stuff. I guess if there's something you don't know about me, I like watching like science stuff like that. I'll throw on like, some science related or something about the earth or something like that. I don't know. I find it interesting sometimes when I'm bored sitting in my room. I'll throw something on my TV. And yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm big into like Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology and the pyramids and all that stuff. So I'm the same. And sharks. I'm a huge Shark Week guy, right? So when Shark Week comes on, me and my son were like binge watching all the episodes. So yeah, I feel you on that. I don't think I ever said that. So there's something you guys don't know about me. Shark Week comes around, I'm in there on TV for sure.
I also like watching boxing. I like boxing, MMA. I was going to do it this season, but I was like, I'm going to wait till the off season. I'm going to join my local boxing gym. I've always wanted to. I just never brought myself to do it, but I'm going to do it this winter. So
yeah, one of my best friends out here, he's big in ninjutsu. He's always trying to get me to sign up and do it. I would like to give it a shot. It looks a lot of fun for sure. It's a lot of discipline.
Look, I know getting hit in the face sucks. I can tell you that. But everything else about the sport is cool.
I love it. Yeah, getting hit in the face does suck ass, right? Let's just be honest. Yeah, for sure. Favorite comedian, Joe? Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here because everybody says this, but I do really like Shane Gillis. And why am I drawing a blank to his name right now? Why am I drawing a blank? I watched all his comedy stuff.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams is funny. He's not one of my favorites, but he is funny. Dave Chappelle. I love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. I loved his TV show. The Chappelle Show was like absolutely one of the best shows that ever come out.
I didn't even finish it. I watched some of it, and then I started watching Shane Gillis' documentary on Netflix. I didn't finish that either. That's a bad habit of mine. I don't finish shows that I'm watching. I never do. I've been watching The Sopranos. I'm on season 3 right now, and I haven't watched it in like almost a month. So I just started a new show,
Yeah, what show did you just start?
The Peaky Blinders.
Dude, bro, I'm into that show too. I'm on. I started watching it in the UK, and that's been over a year ago. So, Joe, I'm same situation, right? I'm on season 2, episode 4, I think, and I've been a year watching this show.
Really?
Yeah, just because I'm busy all the time too, and I don't get a whole lot to sit down and actually get to enjoy the show, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. No,
But
I'm almost.
yeah,
I think I have like 4 more episodes, so I might finish it. This might be the first show I finish.
I love it, man. I love it. That, and I've been watching Ozark.
I haven't watched that. I don't even know what
That's
that.
on Netflix. That's good. Oh, and then my buddy Rick Glover turned me on to oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna tell you real quick. It is one of the best motorcycle documentaries I've ever seen. And it's on the Red Bull Rookie Cup.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I gotta watch this. I just found out that MotoGP is on HBO Max. So I don't know if you
it
have an HBO Max account. MotoGP is on there. I
it is.
it's out.
I do the subscription.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to HBO Max, and I never knew anything about it until I saw One Fast Move, that movie that just came out, and I was hoping like, oh, maybe they put it on. I didn't know what they had it on yet, so I just checked HBO Max because I was signed into it, and I looked up motorcycle, and MotoGP came up. I was like, no way, they have MotoGP on here. So I
Yes,
started watching all the races I didn't get to watch.
love it, dude. I love it. It's called, dude. It's on Max. It's called Born Racers.
Really, I gotta watch that.
Bro, Joe, it'll open up. It opens up. It's that show that opens up people's eyes on how hard our sport is,
Mm.
and what it actually takes, especially the younger kids and the sacrifices, and how to deal with all the emotions. And dude, it is absolutely. I've been glued to it. I think there's 6 episodes. I'm on the last episode. I'm gonna start it tonight. And then I'll be like, shit, it's over now. I gotta rewatch it, right? Because during the off season when no road racing's going on, it's my saddest time of the year, even though I love fall and winter. That's when I do all my reruns, whether it's World Superbike, BSB, whatever. Isle of Man TT is absolute my favorite race of the year, hands down. Is that something you would do? Is the Isle of Man TT?
No, I would never.
Straight up, no.
I'm not really scared when it comes to riding a motorcycle, but that draws the line for me. I will not do it.
Do you ever watch it?
If it comes on, like if my dad throws it on the TV, I'll sit there and watch it. I find it really cool. I just, I don't know. I don't really see it as something that helps my racing, and I just don't really put it on.
It's all good. I'm a nerd for it for sure. It's
No, it's
to me,
definitely good racing. I just don't watch it, and I just will never do it.
I asked that question to everybody, and some people that I like, me personally, just filling them out, like his answer is going to be no, or her answer is going to be no, and they're like, yeah, absolutely, I would. I was like, bro, let's go. Like, yeah. So
if opportunity really arised, who knows? It depends what the opportunity is, honestly. But there's so many variables
it is
that you cannot control. That's like something that I'm not the most comfortable with. But maybe we'll see what the future holds.
To me, it's like the men and women that do the TT, the Macau, and the Northwest 200, and Oliver's Mountain, all that, the real road racing, right? It's not that they're any better or any faster than you are, Joe. They're just, to me, I see it as they're more comfortable pushing
Oh
on
yeah,
open public streets versus me and you. We'd be like, nah, hell no, I ain't doing
they
that,
take
right?
that risk. That look, if I'm out there, I'm gonna race. If I'm out there, I'm racing hard. But if I'm not, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad.
Not at all, right? Yeah, I'm gonna sit right here, have me a pint, some fish and chips. I'm gonna watch and
I'll
enjoy.
watch. Yep.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. If you can invite any 3 people to a private track day, Joe, anybody dead or alive, what's the 3 people you bring into your track day?
I'm gonna choose my man Jason Pridmore. He's been someone that's been helping me out too. He's just great. He's such a good dude. And if I can like go back in time and ride with him when he was in his prime, that would be sick. Just because I just want to see, like, he's still fast now. Like, as someone as old as he is, he's fast. He rips. Who else? I would take Rossi, just because I've always been a Rossi fanboy. Italian at heart over here, so I've always been a Rossi fanboy. And probably Anthony Corbo, just because he's my buddy, and he's the reason I ride anyway. So, yeah, those are my three people right there.
I love it. I'm a huge Rossi fan. I named my son and Nikki Hayden. I named my son Hayden Rossi after Nikki Hayden and
Oh, really?
Valentino. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a, it's, but since Rossi's retired, Joe, I feel like I'm not, I'm not a fan like I was for Rossi for any particular rider.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, Rossi's just he was different. He really was.
Absolutely. But my favorite racers today are all my friends that race. You, Dominique Doyle, Yandel Mendia, Isaac Woodworth, everybody that races in Moto America and overseas that I'm friends with that race, you guys are my favorite. I'd rather give you $50 for your t-shirt versus, Pedro Costa merch or Jack Miller, which I love, don't get me wrong, but you guys are my friends, and I'd rather see you guys succeed and be where you want to be, and they've already made it, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I get more pleasure and enjoyment out of watching you guys and girls race versus I do MotoGP now because I'm invested, right?
Yeah.
Because we're friends, and I want to see you step on that top of the box with that number one, and me scream to the top of my lungs. And my wife goes, "What the hell are you screaming about?" I'm like, "Whoa, let's go!" She's like, "Oh my god, he's watching racing again." So
Yep, there it is.
there it is. Next question for you, buddy. If you had your own race team, okay, I know this is kind of a broad question. Let's narrow this down. If you had your own race team in Moto America,
Mm-hmm.
what two bikes, what bike manufacturer would you choose, and who's the two riders you would put on your bikes?
Ooh, this is a good question. This is a good question. Anybody, any rider in the world?
Any rider in the whole world, any motorcycle manufacturer in the whole world.
I got a special place in my heart for an R6, for Yamaha R6. I love it. I love those bikes. I've been racing it. I've been racing an R6 for 4 years now. So I kind of just grew accustomed to that thing, and it's such a shame that they're leaving. But two riders I would pick. I would pick one of my little buddies, Josh Raymond. Joshua Raymond. I don't know if you heard the name yet. If you haven't yet, you will soon. But
I've heard.
yeah, probably Josh Raymond and man, who else would I put on my team? Just throw someone crazy out here, Mark Marquez.
There it is, right? Yeah, that's good. I've heard of your friend. Not very much, but I've heard his name going
Little
around
Josh, yeah, he's good.
on social media.
And like,
He's how old is he?
he's young. He's a little young for an R6. I think he's like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah, I was gonna say 13, 14, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna be a
Yeah, but he can
legend too.
ride, man. He can ride.
Absolutely. Um, if Joe Lamondre had his own private island, what's the one racetrack you'd have on your island?
I haven't experienced enough racetracks to make that decision. But if I really had to make one, like right where I stand, let me see. I've been to almost every track in America so far, and honestly, there's not many that I don't like. I kind of like all racetracks. I love how just different they all are. But the one track I really love, and it's gonna be really funny because I don't think anyone has said this, is Indianapolis. Kind of shame that it's like flat, but I just love the layout. I love how fun that layout is. Either
Yeah.
that or man, it's a good question. I like Pitt. Pitt's a good racetrack too. Man, I can't come to a decision here.
It's all good, man. It is. It's uh Indy. I've been to every year Indy for the MotoGP race, but the last year.
I
Um,
went to the last four, I think, all the way up until the last season that they were there,
nice.
in whatever that was, 2016 or
Uh See, they started Texas in 13, so I want to say Indy last year might have been 13.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
16.
12,
You're probably right. I don't
something
remember.
like that. I don't have it hung up in here, but I'll FaceTime you on my phone, or I'll take a picture and I'll text it to you. But I have the 2008 inaugural year. We stayed downtown at the hotel that was right across the street or a block over from the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we walk in, we check in, we put our thing down. I'm like, let's go hit the bar. I'm hungry. Let's order something, have a beer, whatever. So I walk in the bar and they got a big cardboard cutout of Nikki Hayden 2008 inaugural MotoGP. So the first thing I did was like, hey, who's the manager? I need to speak to the manager. And they're, oh, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I want this cardboard cutout right here at the end of the weekend. I want this. I'll buy it. Whatever it takes, I want it. The manager comes out. He's like, look, put your name on the back Sunday morning or afternoon when you guys get back. I'll put it in the back. I'll have it for you. I said, okay. So I show up Sunday morning before we even left for the track. I got extra early. Walked downstairs, picked that bad boy up, took it straight up to my room. And when I got back to the hotel, I was like, hey, man, I grabbed that thing this morning. He's like, okay, good. No worries, right? I was like, yes.
Yeah, I saw
But
that.
it's huge. It's probably 4.5 foot by
Wow.
3 foot wide. Yeah, it's a big old
I didn't see that.
yeah, it's because I took it. That's why, because I took it. Now, I'm sure they had them at other hotels too. I remember what year was it where they actually named the streets after all the MotoGP riders? You had like Kenny
Oh,
and Rossi and Hopkins and yeah, man, good stuff. So let me ask you this, Joe, do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have a cross right here that I'm not done yet. I started doing it and I was like, oh, I don't really know what I want to do to finish it yet. So right now it's just two little lines. And I have a Bible scripture on my chest right here.
Love it.
I am quite the religious person. I have my cross hanging up back there. I have my Bible right here.
Let's go, buddy.
I guess I didn't say all my superstitions. I also pray every time before I ride, no matter what I'm doing.
Yeah, I love it. It's good stuff, man. It's absolutely good stuff. So me growing up, I was a huge Star Wars fan, right? Is that some? Are you a Star Wars fan too as well?
Honestly, I wasn't for a while, and then one day I was like, man, I kind of want to watch Star Wars. This was like during injury, so I had nothing better to do, and I watched the whole trilogy, start to finish.
Love it, man. I love it. I got me a Lucas Arts
Oh, that's sick.
lightsaber right here. I don't have no batteries. It's Darth Vader's all I turn it on, all that cool stuff.
You'd love talking to my team owner Corbo. He's a big Star Wars fan. You'd love talking to him about it.
Well, dude, hey, reach out to him. Let's get him on the podcast, and then we'll definitely talk about it for sure.
Talk to him.
Yeah, let's do it. Talk to him. Ask him if he's interested for sure. But let me ask you this though.
Love to talk.
That me too, bro. Absolutely. What Star Wars character would Joe Limandri be?
What would I be?
What Star Wars character would you be?
Oh, I have no idea. Man, I don't even know. I'm just gonna throw Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's it. I'm gonna throw a crazy one out there.
Dude, to me, Obi-Wan's the most powerful Jedi. I mean, look at all everybody's ass he kicked, right? And
oh yeah, 100%.
Got away with. Nobody else did it, right? Plus, he beat Anakin, so
he beat Darth Vader twice.
Exactly, absolutely.
And the third time,
and Darth Maul, right?
Darth Maul.
So, what is your all-time favorite meal, Joe?
All-time favorite meal?
All-time favorite meal.
I'm a big red meats kind of guy, so I like steak. If you put steak in front of me, I'm eating it.
That's medium rare, I hope.
Medium rare always. Unless I go to like a really bad steakhouse, like Denny's or something, I'll have them cook it medium because it's still going to show up medium rare for some reason.
Yeah.
If you ask for medium rare, they won't even cook it. They'll just give it to you. That's how I know. Because I've gotten sick several times.
Yeah, I've never ate steak at Denny's, man. It's been, bro, I can't even tell you the last time I ate at a Denny's.
I can't tell you either because I got sick last time I ate.
So he's like, no more.
More.
One fast food place that I cannot stand is Long John Silver's. I think it is the most bro, it's horrible.
All right, I take that.
Yeah,
I don't like McDonald's.
I don't either.
I will not eat McDonald's. I'll starve. I
Me
just don't
too.
like it.
I'd rather just go out here and get some grass and throw some salad dressing on it and croutons and be done with it, right?
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Yeah, I'm not. I do not eat McDonald's at all, and I'm so tired of Chick-fil-A. My son is a Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I'm not.
I need to get a Chick-fil-A sponsor for real, because as much as my son eats it, I used to love it until we went there all the freaking time, and I'm like, dude, I'm not eating. Now I'm like, he's like, I want Chick-fil-A. I'm like, okay, well, aren't you going to order some? I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Yes, I'm never tired of Chick-fil-A.
Listen, when you have a kid, Joe, and he eats there all the time, you're going to be like, bro, I don't want Chick-fil-A no more.
Maybe then, but right now I'm on that Chick-fil-A grind.
Love it. I did get the pimento cheese chicken sandwich when it come out. That was good.
I'm bland. I get chicken tenders and fries. Well, chicken nuggets and fries, and I'm good.
Eddie K, my man, what is up, Eddie? He says, love that Jesus chicken. Oh, it's good stuff. It's I've just eaten it so much. Like if I have to get anything, it's got to be a spicy chicken sandwich for sure. Because I love spicy food, Joe. Do you like spice?
Not really. I'm really picky, and I just don't eat much. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of
that
boring.
that's another way how I've lost a lot of weight is eating the meal size of my fist, right? Because that's as big as your stomach is.
Yeah,
Instead of eating
big ass.
4 slices of pizza and all this shit. That's something that Luca Allen, my buddy that come over here from BSB, said. I was like, so what did you think of our food? He's like, bro, I got a cheeseburger at Applebee's last night, and it was like this freaking big, dude. I could eat like a
That's
third
it.
of it. I was like, yeah. He's like, you guys serve a lot of food. I was like, yeah. Welcome to America, buddy.
Everything's bigger in America.
Everything is bigger, louder, and badder in America, right? And we love guns, right?
Love guns.
Me too, bro. Absolutely. I'm a big advocate of gun. My son, he's 11 now. When he was 6 or 7, I bought him his own AR-15.
Oh, nice.
He's been shooting since he
Yeah,
was.
I live in New York, so we can't get much. But
No, you
when I go to my
can't.
buddy's house and stuff, I love shooting. I just love it.
Yeah, I do too, man. It's good. The shitty part about it is, man, now the ammo is so expensive, I don't really get a chance to shoot a whole lot because it's like, do I want to buy some track day tires or this or that, or do I want to buy some ammo? Right? It's life decisions.
I have a shotgun that I like to use for skeet, and like 3 boxes was like $100.
And you probably blew through those in 20 minutes.
Oh, I blew through all three of them in a day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, buddy. So let me ask you this, and I ask everybody this, Joe. Celebrity crush, and it don't have to be a movie star celebrity. It could be anything. So me growing up, Salma Hayek was always one of my uh, crushes I had on growing up. Who's that for you?
I don't know. I gotta think about this. I'm not gonna be weird like Spencer and say Brad Pitt. So I really I gotta put some thought into this. Yeah.
I love it.
Man, I don't even know. You ask all these questions. I never think about this stuff. I don't think about celebrities, nothing. I just go throughout my day.
I know, but this is the part of the interview where it makes you think, right?
Yeah,
It's not motorcycle related questions.
I'm definitely thinking right now. I'm drawing a blank.
That's
I'm like,
okay.
I can't even think of any celebrity right now because that's how you just threw it on me. I was like, oh god.
That's okay. We can say that for part 2 of the
Yeah, we're
podcast.
gonna have to save that. I'm gonna have to think about this one and write it down.
Let me ask you this: what's the best advice you ever gotten as far as motorcycle goes?
The best advice, something that I'm gonna kind of use like my experiences and stuff like that is, if you really want it, just go after it. Um, it's gonna suck. Racing sucks. Life sucks sometimes. Just gotta suck it up and roll through the punches and just keep grinding. If you really want it, you can get whatever you want.
That's right.
That's the way I see it. That's the best advice I can give because I can tell you from experience that it gets tough sometimes. Dealing with injury, going through things you can't control, life happens. Just keep grinding. It's the best thing I can say.
Yeah, one foot in front of the other. Keep
100%.
your head up and positive vibes and energy and keep it moving. 100%. Are you into any other sports, Joe? Like, do you watch baseball or football or hockey or anything?
I don't watch it, but when I was a kid, I used to play a lot of sports, and I was honestly not bad at like a lot of the sports that I played. I was always good at football, um, but standing at 5'7", 130 pounds, soaking wet, I'm not a football player, and I learned that real fast. I was good at soccer when I was a kid, but I just, like I said before, racing kind of just consumed my life, like a lot of the other racers. So I don't really play much sports anymore. Other than like if I go hang out with my friends or something, we'll go throw a ball or whatever.
Yeah, I don't watch anything. If I do watch a sport on TV, it's going to be soccer because I
Mm.
grew up playing soccer and I'm a huge soccer fan. And the only time I watch any football at all is the Super Bowl. That's it.
I'll throw on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's it. And mainly I'm there for the commercials,
I was,
cooking hot wings, just hanging out with my buddies, right?
I just
That's
go for the food. I
yeah.
don't really watch the game. Like they're all yelling at the game because I have buddies outside of racing too, and I just sit there and I just eat.
I I got yelled at last year because I'm watching some reruns of races. And it was like, dude, are you gonna watch the game? I'm like, I'm watching my game. You're not gonna watch the football game? I'm like, nah, bro, I'm
You
good.
know, if you put on racing, they're gonna watch football games though.
Right? Yeah. Let me mirror this on your TV, right? Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So, are you a PlayStation or Xbox guy, Joe?
Xbox. I have my Xbox sitting right here. I don't play it that much anymore, but I used to play Xbox all the time. All my friends, we'd run up Forza, Ride 4, MotoGP, everything you could think of. Fortnite when it was popular, we used to play that all the time. And one thing we've been doing when the Supercross season starts, and this is like the only time we get on Xbox, is we all join an Xbox party. We put Supercross on all of our Xboxes, and we're all in different states, but we're all watching the same thing on an Xbox party. So it's like we're all hanging out, and that's like everything. That's something we've been doing, like usually in the winter.
Yeah, I love it, dude. That's good. I'm gonna have to buy me an Xbox. Most of my racing friends are my friends got Xboxes. I'm like very few of me and my other friends got PlayStation. So I'm gonna have to get me a new Xbox so I can get on there and play with you
Do it.
guys and watch. I will. I'm going
Run
to.
up some MotoGP, do some racing.
Yeah, facts, right? 110%. I got MotoGP. What was the last one I got? Was 2023, and I hated the game. I thought it was horrible.
I think I have 22.
The braking on it was just like retarded. I did not jive with it at all.
It was like a learning curve because I played 2019, then I went to 2022. And I'm like, wow, what are all these physics? They try to make it so realistic that it just wasn't realistic. But then, I figured out how to play, and then it's fun. But we
Yeah,
usually play like Ride 4. Ride 4 is such a good game.
that's what I've been playing is Ride 5. Actually, I've been playing the new Star Wars Outlaws game. That's what I've been playing. But if I throw in motorcycle, it's absolutely
Ride
Ride 5.
I need to play Ride 5. I just haven't gotten it because I don't play Xbox enough to where I'm like, all right, let me spend my money right now.
Yeah, I feel you. I got it. I'm that. I mean, look at my room. I'm two wheels. Dude, 99.9% of my clothes is motorcycle related. I
A
have
lot of people
very few
are
clothes.
free.
Yeah,
A lot of my shirts are free from racing.
there you go. Right. It's. I mean, mine's like Alpine Stars and Day and Easy, and of course, I got a bunch of my friends that have shirts. I wear all that, and so my wife be like, "Dress up. I want you to wear something dressy." I'm like, "Okay." So I throw on a pair of golf shorts or a pair of golf pants, right, and then I'll throw on
A race.
Isaac Woodward shirts or my buddy's race shirt or something. My wife's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" So I bought a Polo Aprilia. Uh,
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
You wear your Pin the Gas podcast pit shirt.
dude, I just got these in today, and every time this is no lie, Joe. Every time I step out of this house, I got a Pin the Gas shirt on and a Bison hat on.
Sick.
Straight up, dude. Yeah, my wife's like, "Are you kidding me? This is all you ever wear?" I'm like,
Yep.
"Don't
My,
hate, babe."
my pit shirts from Moto America just came in the other day, so I'll
Well,
be wearing
good,
them.
man. Are you going to be selling any?
No, I just made enough for the team because it was a one-off round.
I got
I
you.
definitely am going to start making some merch, though. I just had to get all this Moto America stuff put in place first before I can start worrying about merchandise, but that's coming soon.
Well, you let me know, buddy, because
Oh, I
I
will.
want to support you, and I'll buy a T-shirt from you, and I'll wear it on the podcast and all that good stuff for
Sweet.
sure.
Yeah, you'll be.
110%. I love it, man. I love it. So let me ask you this, Joe. What's life after racing for you, man? Is it something you plan on staying in the sport, doing coaching, or
Um, I want to stay in the sport as long as possible. Mostly, like right now, my future is I just want to race. I want to keep racing. I want to make like a real career out of riding a motorcycle, and then when it's over, yeah, I'd love to coach, start my own coaching program, maybe start my own race team. Like you see a lot of that going around. Like people, they end their racing, they start a race team. I just like to give back everything that I learned into the community because it's such a good community, and I've learned so much from so many people that if I can give that back, it make me feel good.
and you already do by coaching, right?
Yeah, but you
Giving
can always
back.
do more.
You can, it's yeah, this is my way of giving back
Yeah,
to everything that sports gave me, right? Is getting all my friends or people that I've admired growing up watching racing, and all the people that don't have a chance to get on and tell their story, right? That's my way of giving back and helping the sport grow too as well.
yeah, 100%. Podcasts are such an amazing thing. Like some riders, you never even heard of them, never even heard their story. Podcasts are such a good way to get all that out there.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. So we're almost done here, Joe. Do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment. No, I do not.
All right, ladies. When you come to Jersey, Joe is free.
Yep.
He said, "Yep." Do you have any pets? Are you a pet person?
I have a dog. I have a little like those little white rat dogs, Gracie.
My baby's right here. She's
I
always
can't
been
see
here with
him.
me.
I can't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yep.
What is it?
She is a pit bull. She's like 13 years old. Her name is Charlie, and she is a daddy's girl. Like I get up at 4:15 in the morning. She's up. She wants to eat. She will not go outside and use the restroom until I come home. And when I leave for the weekend, she don't usually eat very good at all or sleep very good until I come home, and then she
Mm,
follows me around. She's my
all day.
she,
Yep.
all day, man. I
My
love
dog
them.
follows my mom all day long. Just follows my mom around, barks at her, everything.
Yeah, she has a habit of doing that. Like after she eats, she wants. I've been feeding her a lot of doggy ice cream. Right? They have doggy ice cream, so I'll get a like a little cup. I'll cut it in half and give it to her. So as soon as she gets done eating, she'll go outside, go to the bathroom, come in, and stare at me, Joe. Like, and if I don't go to the freezer, she barks. Right? And then now she gets to the point where I open up the refrigerator, she'll stick her nose inside the refrigerator, like, "What's for me? Well, what you got in there for me, Daddy?" Right? So
Yeah, you spoil these dogs, and they will. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile every time.
yeah, man, absolutely they will. Well, listen, Joe, man, we're in almost an hour and 20 of this, man. It's been an absolute honor to have you on. I've had a proper mega willy good time, right? Like I told you we would. But before we get off here, I'm gonna give all my shout outs and then I'm gonna let you in the podcast, Joe. So listen, first thing I want to say is thanks everybody for watching and listening. If you did not catch this episode, as soon as this is over, you go straight to my YouTube channel and catch it. If not, it'll be out everywhere tomorrow but Apple. Thanks to everybody that commented and watches, Eddie and Birch and Rick and Billy. Man, I love all you guys and girls. Without you guys showing me the support, I wouldn't be here where I am, right? And if you guys and girls have not had a chance, please go to my YouTube and my Spotify and hit that like and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. If anybody's interested, I have a very limited run of these. When I mean limited, like I got 4 or 5 of them, and that's it, right? So all the help, I appreciate it because it goes right back into podcast. So I could be here to do this for you guys. Um, Thank you so much for Next Level Financial. And of course, Bison. I try to tell everybody go to bisontrack.com, get that custom suit started. Trust me, you will thank me later. And Chef Eats. Joe, have you heard of Chef Eats?
I have, yeah.
Have you tried it?
I did way back then. It's been a while, but I did try one of Jeff's foods. It's good. It's good food.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Chef Eats and Jeff. It's my friends that are in the paddock. I love to. I don't get paid. I don't get free stuff from them, right? But I want to. Same thing like you, Joe. Wherever you see your end game as far as motorcycles, whether you want to be World Superbike champ, Moto America champ, whatever it is. I hope you reach that 8 times over, right? Same thing with Bison, same thing with Chef Eats, right? I really want to see them succeed or whatever their goals are too as well. Um, and Flying Eyes Optics. So this is a new one that I got earlier this year. These sunglasses right here. I wore sunglasses under my helmets, Joe, and I'm pretty sure you have too before, right?
Honestly, no. Or I wear an Arai, so I always get the dark field and everything nice, you know.
Okay, well, besides Joe, people, right? So these sunglasses are called Flying Eyes Optics. They're actually made and assembled in Austin, Texas. They are the most lightest and most comfortable sunglasses I've ever put on my face. You put them on underneath your helmet. That's the first thing I did after I got them. Threw my helmet on, threw the glasses up underneath them, went for a ride. Didn't have no pressure points, no nothing. I even forgot I was wearing them. My wife loves them so much, she always steals them from me. So does her girlfriends. Every time they come around, they're like, "Give me your sunglasses." I'm like, "Here you go." Um, but anyway, Flying Eyes Optics, they're absolutely amazing. RD Racing, Vet 2 Track, SFL Mini GP, and my buddy Jake Marsh out there. He got in a bad wreck. He's recovering from motorcycles. He's a legend. He will be racing again. So speedy recovery, Jake. Can't wait to see you back out there ripping it up again. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Joe, the floor is all yours.
Well, I pray that your buddy has a speedy recovery. Trust me, I know racing's tough sometimes, but I hope everything goes well. Um, I'm going to start off by saying that we spoke about it. I'm racing the last round of the season at Moto America, New Jersey Motorsports Park. We got room on our suit and our bike and our helmet. So if anyone's interested on coming aboard and showing their support, we have such a good platform. It's our bike. We have all the real estate on it. So if anyone wants to come aboard and help the program, perfect spot for you. We'll be on TV. It's a home round, so camera will be in my face at some point in the weekend. I know that for sure. I have all my home fans and everything will be there. And yeah, I just got to thank Boss Racing and UTR Racing. Just this opportunity wouldn't have happened without them. Uda just putting together a killer engine. Anthony Corbo and Pablo from Boss Racing just building an amazing bike. Orient Express from K-Tech for supplying some suspension. Got to keep the bike on rails all weekend, you know. So I got to thank them. Evolve GT Track Days, SpaceJamit.com, Arai Americas, Moto Liberty, NJ Mini GP. Everybody who's just coming aboard to support me. I couldn't do all of this without them. Yeah, I can't. I can't thank everybody enough. Just for all the support they give me, my mom, my dad, my sister, just sacrificed so much for me to be here, and all my fans, everybody who supports me every single weekend, just hoping for the best. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without them. So thank you guys very much. And I'm excited to see what Jersey has in store for us. Ready to rip.
Me too, man. I'm ready. I can't wait to meet you at Jersey. The end of the month is coming up. It'll be here before we know it, right? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a chance, you're coming out to Jersey, make sure you stop by, give Joe a big old hug, show him all your love and support. And yeah, hey, if you guys want to donate and help Joe out, Joe, is there a minimum buy-in or anything that they got to do to help you sponsor? Or
Look, all support's appreciated. I appreciate anything you can do for us. Anything, even little, goes a long way. So get in contact with us. My Instagram is Joesph_Limandri. My Facebook is Joe Limandri Jr. Racing. And my website is joelimandrijrracing.com.
I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys can't figure it out or get in touch with them, hit me up. I'll get you directly in touch with them so you can help support this absolute legend, right? So yeah, Joe, it's been an absolute honor. And ladies and gentlemen, it was an honor to sit down again with the legend himself, Joe
Thank you,
Limandri.
Chris. It was an honor being on here. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching and see what Jersey has in store again.
Let's go, right? Absolutely. All right, guys and girls, thank you guys so much. I'm going to get off here and yeah, we'll see you soon.